Kia ora, this is Bus Life, because we live in this bus here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm Nikki and this is my partner Paul. Welcome to our channel. Thanks for being here. If you like what you see, let us know. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching us from. And feel free to ask any bus life or motorhome questions that you might have or that watching our journey might raise for you. Kia ora. So if you watched our last video, you would know that we're taking you around the South Island with us in our 10.5 metre 1996 Hino Rainbow bus. And we're towing our car. It's a manual Suzuki Swift. So let's take this car to Invercargill. We arrived safely in Picton and spent the next 3 nights at Koromiko. It's about 5 k's out of Picton at a parkover property there. $5 per van per night. It's a nice spacious parkover and it's very convenient for the ferry, so quite transient, lots of people coming and going at all sorts of hours to catch and come in from ferries. We spent the arrival afternoon and the next day installing our hot water heater. When that was done and we could have hot showers again, we did a day trip just in the car to Blenheim. Took our rubbish because we had an old hot water heater and boxing and stuff. So we took that to the dump. We went to the supermarket, did some washing, and we wanted to check out the truck stop there because I'd seen on the NZMCA app there was a truck stop and we wondered if we might be able to wash the bus there after it had been on the ferry and getting covered in salt spray, you know. So yeah, we went and sussed that out and it was a go, so that was the plan. We went back to Koromiko and the next day we went for a drive to Picton and had a little nosy around there. So on the 15th of January, we left Koromiko, stopped in Blenheim at the truck stop, washed the bus, filled up with diesel, dumped our waste, refilled our tanks, and then headed off down State Highway 1 out towards the coast, heading for Kaikoura. Now, we don't really have a plan or a schedule or even a time limit for this trip. We have an ideal minimum amount of time to spend down here. We're kind of just going to play it by ear really, feel it out and see what comes of it. But we don't have a maximum, so we're just going to see what happens. We've saved for this trip and have funds for 5 or 6 months. But if we find a place that we love, there's nothing to stop us looking at work options and parking options. In the months leading up to this trip, we sort of started collating a bit of a list of things that we would like to do while we were here, things that we wanted to see, places we wanted to go to, etc. But ultimately, we've got no real set plans and we certainly don't know which routes we're taking. We do, however, want to make it to Invercargill by the 8th of February because we want to go to the Burt Munro Motorcycle Challenge. The Burt Munro Challenge is a 5-day motorcycle event put on in legacy of Burt Munro. If you have seen the World's Fastest Indian, you know, and if you haven't, then you need to go watch it. Aside from that, we want to go to as many different Speedway tracks as we can while we're here. So we're going to allow the Speedway calendar to guide our journey. The first event on the Speedway calendar that's in reach for us is at Ruapuna Speedway in Aotearoa, Christchurch. It's on the 21st of January and it's the Sprint Car Summer Slam. Aotearoa, Christchurch is about 4 hours away from here and we have 6 days to get there. I think we can make it, but it will probably take us about that long because let's be honest, it's just over a 2-hour drive from Picton to Kaikoura and it's taken us just about all day. But for no other reason than the fact that we made lots of stops. Really, we were just wanting to soak it all up because this coastline was stunning and we were so lucky to be travelling it on a day like today. Tino Aotearoa I tēnei rā. It really was a beautiful day. We stopped for a coffee with a view and we went for a little wander on the beach, got our toes in the sand, breathed the fresh air, vitamin D, vitamin C and all that goodness, picked some wildflowers and just fed the soul a little bit, you know? Because this place just oozes vitamin D and we were here for it, soaking it all up and taking it all in. Where we stopped was somewhere around Kekerengu, but I'm not 100% sure. And then we stopped for an expensive lunch with a priceless view at Nin's Bin. We got a $90 crayfish tail, fish and chips. Most expensive kai we have had in such a long time. It was beautiful though, and the view was priceless. So I just looked at it as it was the whole experience that we paid the $100 for, not just the kai. So our first mission in Kaikoura was to suss out where we were going to park, and our first stop was the NZMCA park on Old Beach Road. And it was good. It had everything we needed. It wasn't too busy. It had a dump station, which is always a bonus. So yeah, we found a spot, pulled up, levelled up and parked up. At this stage, we didn't know how long we were going to be in Kaikoura, as per the theme of our trip. We aren't really interested in doing the touristy things, the whale watching and that kind of thing. We just wanted to have a little look around and get a feel for the place. We did want to get some paua, but that was a no-go on the east coast, so we read on the signs. That night we went out for dinner at a local restaurant, King Tide. It was pretty average. We didn't rate it. The Crayfish at Nin's Bin was money far better spent. The next day we went out to the peninsula past Fife House and went around to South Bay. We just had a good look around the place really, had a good nosy and did some people watching. Day 2 in Kaikoura we went down to the beach and found some nice little secret spots. Saw some dolphins or whales or whatever they were, and we had to go to the supermarket and we had to do a load of washing, so off to the little lady laundrette we went. By the afternoon we decided that we felt like we'd done what we needed to do in Kaikoura and that we were going to head off in the morning en route to Aotearoa, Christchurch. That night I made sushi for dinner, which always serves as a really good travel day lunch. So the next day, it was Tuesday the 17th of January, we decided we were hitting the road, quick tidy up, dishes, rubbish, all of those good things. This NZMCA park was really good for its recycling setup, check this out. And super cool to see Te Reo being used. Mwah. Anyway, we packed up and hit the road. Although our trip from Picton to Kaikoura was a beautiful one, we decided it was too much to do in one day, so we just wanted to do some little bites at some travels. So using the NZMCA app to find something that was approximately an hour's drive, we decided on the Cheviot Holiday Park, and that was 68 k's away from Kaikoura. This holiday park in Cheviot was so quiet and peaceful. It was all character and charm, lots of wagon wheels and even an old jailhouse. And look at these cute goats. They had all the holiday park campground facilities, no dump station, but they did have a swimming pool. We hooked up to the power while we were here, had the fans going, and we charged the vacuum cleaner batteries. It was $35 for the night, and we just stayed the one night. We'll be hitting the road again tomorrow. The next day we were up early. We like to set off early and travel in the mornings, and we went as far as Rangiora. We stayed at the showgrounds in Rangiora for 2 nights and just did some washing and just chilled out. It was pretty hot, so we made some shade, hung the washing to dry, and pigged out on some stone fruit. Rangiora was about 40 k's away from our final destination in Aotearoa, Christchurch, ready for Ruapuna Speedway a couple of days later, and that destination was going to be the Whedon's NZMCA park out the other side of Christchurch near Rolleston. Well, that's enough travel for today. We will catch you back in a couple of days when we head off from Rangiora and head towards Aotearoa, Christchurch. We will see you at the NZMCA in Whedon's. Catch you then.